And the world is quiet now. The confetti is swept away. The fireworks have faded. The countdown has ended. And the calendar sits fresh, unmarked, unclaimed. I say this because the year is still newborn, soft and fresh and full of unclaimed courage. We've all been given a front row seat to possibility in 2026. But legacy doesn't start with the year changing. It starts with us choosing to change first. Legacy doesn't begin in the loud moments. It begins in the quiet ones. When the heart knows, the spirit whispers, and the leader decides. That's you. I will not shrink from this anymore. History remembers the loud revolutions, doesn't it? But heaven records the quiet obediences. So this is not your loud uprising. It's not what this is. This is your steady one. Because the leaders who change generations are not the ones who feel ready. They're the ones who move first. And somewhere in the deep place that you don't advertise, you already know the truth. You're being called upward, not outward, but inward and forward. So consider this the drafting table of your destiny, the design room of obedience. The hour the blueprint wins its permission to exist. Regret has no seat here. But courage is clearing its schedule for 2026. This is where legacy leaders are formed, not in flawless execution, but in rhythmic obedience. Welcome to the episode that turns whispers into framework and leaders into builders of a legacy worth living. Get ready for the blueprint. No. Ooh, that's better, right, babe?
Yeah!
Yeah. She founded an architectural concrete company.
He founded a $100 million clothing company.
She took the world by storm as a social media star.
He took the world by storm as a famous serial entrepreneur.
Together we started a business.
And had babies.
Now we're figuring out the best ways to do both.
Join us as we learn from other entrepreneurs going through the same life struggles.
As they share their life hacks about success, love, kids,
and everything in between. Hello, my friend, and welcome back to Becoming Unshakable, the Legacy Conversations bonus series presented by the Entrepreneur Parents Podcast. I'm your host, Ildiko Ferenczi. I'm struggling with a little bit of a cold here, so my voice is, it's struggling. We had a surprise trip. I know that we were talking about we were going to go on a vacation, either to Europe or Florida or Hawaii for Christmas, and that didn't happen. We chose to have a quiet holiday at home, and then it's just in the last minute, my husband's like, we're going on a road trip. Oh my gosh. And so the little one got really sick, really sick. And I'm struggling with it right now. So regardless, I'm moving forward and I'm pushing through it, and I'm stepping into the new year. And it's going to be great. It's going to be great. I'm so excited for this episode. And I need to take a moment and tell you this from my heart. I am truly, truly grateful for all of you. You could have scrolled past. You could have. You could have saved this for later, but you pressed play. And that tells us, your heart is leaning towards becoming braver. It's leaning towards brave. And I'm proud of you for putting in the work. You're not here by accident. Not this week, not this moment, not this conversation. And I'm exhaling into this mic with you today because I'm still practicing these steps too. You are here because you're ready for structure. The kind that holds you steady when emotions rise and pressure hits. And this episode's verse is one that steadies me when fear tries to talk me out of moving forward. Not because I've mastered it, but because I'm still learning to live from it too. 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 7. For God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of sound mind. This scripture means God didn't design you to shrink from hard things. He designed you to walk into them with internal authority, guided by love and self-control, not intimidation. God has not given us a spirit of fear or timidity, but of spirit, of power, love, and self-control. We just talked about that. You don't wait for boldness. You walk in it because God already placed the resource within you, didn't He? Fear is not your identity. Power is. Self-doubt is not your inheritance. Clarity is. Timidity is not your design. Obedience is. And leadership is not a moment you rise into someday. It's a rhythm you step into today. The verse is not comforting you into calm. It's commissioning you into movement, the momentum to step forward, because legacy leaders don't shrink. They don't shrink from hardship. They steward sound judgment over panic and spirit-led courage over intimidation. You have divine resources to face what feels impossible. Not because you're strong on your own, but because God is the architect of strength working through you. So lift your eyes and steady your heart and hear this clearly. You are not disarmed by fear. Say it. You're not disarmed by fear. You are equipped for legacy by heaven itself. Now take this truth, internalize it, and carry it forward, because bold living honors God. Brave leadership shapes families, and obedience builds legacies that refuse to end small. No regret, okay? Therapists describe something fascinating about fear and identity. Identity is rebuilt through tiny, repeatable actions that reinforce who you are becoming. That means legacy needs a repeatable system. Identity grows through rhythm. Courage strengthens, pardon me, I'm tripping over my word. Courage strengthens through small, consistent steps. I want to say that slowly so you really take it in. And this matters for families too. Family system psychology teaches that children absorb the emotional tone and patterns that are modeled consistently at home. What are you modeling in your home? What do your children see and learn from you? What do they see? What does your spouse see? Do they feel safe around you? Are you encouraging them? What do they see? You have to be careful. Shrinking can become a learned survival instinct. Rising becomes a practiced leadership instinct. You gotta rise. Identity strengthens through repeated obedience. Legacy expands when your family watches you take the step, even with nerves. And you keep going. Keep going. I think we've all experienced that thing that therapists call a survival response, haven't we? We can call it the season before obedience found its rhythm in us. You don't need more motivation. You need a system you can repeat when you feel unsteady. And that is the blueprint, because that's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about in this episode, the blueprint. Before you reach for that coffee, consider this. What if the energy boost you're looking for isn't in your cup, but in your cells? I challenge you to swap your morning coffee for Shilajit by Symbiotica. And here's what can happen. No crash, no jitters, just clean, sustained energy, plus mental clarity and trace minerals that our bodies actually need, that are actually starving for, to be honest. This isn't just a supplement. It's an ancient adaptogen sourced from the Himalayas that supports mitochondrial function, stamina, and overall vitality. Your coffee never did that. Okay, let's just be honest. Try it for a week and tell me your body doesn't thank you. Symbiotica's Shilajit is next level wellness, and honestly, you may never go back to drinking coffee. Click the link below down in the bio and get your Shilajit today. I wanted to take a moment to share what a community member trusted with me. And she's so kind, and she said that I could share it with you. So her father talked for years about the dreams that he had for his family when she was a little girl, the places they would go, the life they would build. He was basically describing the legacy that they would have, that they would leave as a family. But he could never move on it because he was so stuck in his 9-to-5. And then he was just stuck in work mode. He was never available. He was really checked out. He let stress overtake him and all these things overtake him while he was building someone else's dream. That's what she said. So sadly, when he passed suddenly, what he left behind to his children was just his words, but not a legacy that he kept describing, that he kept talking about. And she told me that the turning point came when her mother finally said that she would not let their story end small, that she promised to leave a legacy for the family. Through grief, through pressure and uncertainty, she stepped forward with her children anyway. She's probably scared. She's grieving. She's going through all these things, but she stepped forward anyway. And together they built a legacy to pass on. Not because she felt fearless, but because she felt responsible to build the legacy her children deserved. That is obedience in motion. And our legacy builders need to hear this. You don't rise because the story is perfect. We all have stuff going on. Of course we do. You rise so the story has somewhere to land with your family. Here's the truth. A calling without a framework, it could become frustration. So today, we're handing you a blueprint you can carry, a rhythm that you can repeat, so your obedience doesn't fade when life gets loud, because it will get loud. So let's lay it out clearly together. Here's your 5-step legacy through obedience blueprint. Write it down or save it. Not to admire it, okay? But to live it. Receive the nudge. Number 1, receive the nudge. You feel the pull. You feel the pull. That's your signal. Don't sabotage it. Write down the nudge you keep negotiating with. Tell one safe person. I prefer that safe person to be your spouse. But just like our friend shared with us, he was so stuck in the 9 to 5. And he was just stuck that he didn't have that opportunity to build that legacy. So sometimes I prefer that you share it with your spouse, but if you can't, if they don't have that vision right now, and perhaps and hopefully they will, then you have to share it with someone else, that other safe person that you have in your life. One witness turns silent assignment into shared courage. Send a 10-second voice note. I need you to echo belief back to me this week. I need your support. Be careful, because sometimes family will talk you out of your very God-given destiny because it's too foreign to them. They don't understand. They can't see the vision that God placed on your heart. So be careful. Be careful who you choose as your safe person. I'm not saying your immediate family, like your children and your spouse. Hopefully it's not your spouse trying to talk you out of it. But sometimes it's even people in our family. Uncles, aunts, brothers, sisters. Number 3, take one bold step. Not the perfect step. We talk about this all the time. Not the perfect step, but the first possible one. The first step that you can do today. Today, we did this in the 48-hour challenge too. Open the draft. Make the call. Send the message. Hit start. Do the thing that you can do today, right away. Take that one bold step. Number 4, it's my favorite. Bring your family into the moment. Legacy grows when your family hears the mission from your mouth, not someone else's. Bring your family on the ride. What brave thing? Ask them, what brave thing should we build together this year? Write down all their answers. What is the brave thing? Maybe they all have the same vision. Maybe it's different. Maybe it's something that you could blend together. It's going to be beautiful. And number 5, give God the glory and repeat. Gratitude keeps your heart soft. Obedience keeps your legacy alive. For example, take 5 seconds and give God the glory out loud. I do this all the time. Is without God, I know I wouldn't be here today. And without God's strong message, we wouldn't be doing this podcast. I knew that this was the right move. And I have to give God the glory. I have to give God the glory every single day of my life for my miracles, for the healing. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. Whenever I start having a bad day, because sometimes that happens, I feel overwhelmed. Again, we got to give God the glory. Give him the gratitude. Give the gratitude. And it gives you a beautiful wake-up call. And friends, that is the rhythm. That is the architecture. That is the blueprint that wins its permission to exist. This is the blueprint. These 5 steps. And now I want to invite you to grab your journal. Perhaps you did the blueprint in your journal, and you should. Maybe you put the notes in your phone. But I want to invite you to grab the journal and just take a few minutes before we build outward. Let's reveal inward. Take a quiet moment just to write 2 or 3 lines, whatever comes to your heart, to your mind. The first one is, what belief about myself must I release to rise into the leader God sees? What do you need to release to rise into the leader God sees? Number 2, what would change in my family if I led from faith first, not hesitation? What would change in my family? And then I have a third one. This is optional if you want to. Write it down. What story do I want my children to tell about me 1 year from now? What's the story that I want my children to tell about me 1 year from now? What is that? You can pause this, you can go back, and then close your journal. Your legacy begins where your honesty speaks first. So as I said, whatever comes to you first, write that down immediately. And your blueprint is active. Legacy leaders are not the loudest in the room. They are the most rhythmic in obedience. They follow through. They do what they say they're going to do. They follow through. They don't rise because they're ready. They rise because regret is more terrifying. Regret is more terrifying than fear. That's the saddest thing, is watching someone at the end of their life and they have the regret. Don't be that person. Or you know that they didn't do the things that they wanted to do, the things that they dreamed about doing with their family. Not the selfish wants, but the things that create legacy. That's the saddest thing. Legacy leaders are not born without fear. They are simply faithful to the nudge. Anyway, they just move anyway. I know I watched my mother do this. I watched my mother do it so many times. And as a child, even a young adult, I never ever believed that she had fear. She never seemed fearless. She was the bravest, strongest woman I knew. Till this day, she's my hero. My brother too. And as a single mother, all the things that she did. And I think about it now as a mother, having children, traveling the world with us alone. Some of the places that we went all over, everywhere. And I think, I have this fear sometimes. Of course, my children don't, but not the fear, but you're thinking about things that could potentially happen. How can I make sure that everything is safe? And this is just going to the grocery store. But she had to make a lot of incredibly hard decisions. She had to make a lot of strong and powerful decisions. And now as a mother, my goodness, I admire her even more because I know that there must have been some fear. There must have been some thought of maybe we just don't do it. Maybe we just don't start the business. Maybe what if this could happen? What if that could happen? She never breathed the doubt. She just encouraged me to share my dreams. We would dream and we would make things happen. We would make things happen together. She was my biggest and best cheerleader, my brother too. I'm so grateful for the family that God had blessed me with. I'm so grateful for my children. If I could choose again, I would choose my mother a trillion times over my brother, my children. I'm just so grateful. Totally off topic, but for me sharing that, I hope that triggers something within you that you're grateful for, or the admiration of someone's courage that inspired you, perhaps now or as a child. I want to, let's do some accountability. Yes, let's do accountability. Open your Instagram. Share the prompt you just journaled. Tag us at Entrepreneur Parents Podcast. And tag my personal page too. It's down in the links for accountability so I can pray over you. I love to pray over you guys. You could DM me too. Use the hashtag Becoming Unshakable. Write one line. I release hesitation, or I claim legacy. Ooh, I lead anyway. Whatever you're feeling, I lead anyway. This is my brave step. I claim it. Put one powerful line on there. I build legacy anyway. Go ahead and share that. Hit share. Done. You claimed it to the world, to your friends, to your family. We are building a movement of steady, obedient leaders together. That's what we're doing, and that's a beautiful thing. Listen, the truth is accountability doesn't ask you to feel fearless. It asks you to show up anyway. And that's how fear falls off of the story. That's how fear falls off of the story. So hold yourself accountable today. I love that. I love those accountability challenges. And I love the DMs, and I love to pray over you guys. I love it. Now, before you go, one more thing that's close to my heart. My children, Destiny and Daniel, have been working so diligently to build their own show, the Entrepreneur Kids Legacy Show. It's a podcast. It's inspiring and screen-free, faith-anchored. It's for young leaders. They're learning to fund their own mission, not wait for rescue. They're just moving. They're putting one foot in front of the other. And if you feel encouraged, if you feel, what is the word? If you feel stirred to encourage young voices rising in obedience and leadership, because that's who they're talking to, you can send Daniel and Destiny a gift at buymeacoffee.com/entrepreneurkids. When you lift a child's voice, you fortify a generation's courage. And remember this too, my friend. Critics will always question the leader who obeys scared. But children inherit the bravery you practice anyway. So you will have your critics, okay? People are going to question. People are going to try to tear down the thing that you're going after. But when you go after it anyway, especially with the critics and people coming at you, your children see that. And that's how they inherit that bravery. Because you pushed through it anyway. And that gives them that courage and that strength to do it themselves. If this series has been lighting something in you to change, let your children watch you act on it this year. Let your children watch you act on it. May this blueprint in your heart outlive the pressure around you. I pray that for you. May your smallest steps carry the loudest impact. Just start small, one foot in front of the other. And may your legacy expand because you refuse to shrink from the nudge another week. You refuse to shrink. You're not going to shrink this week. You're not going to shrink this year. 2026 is the year. Good things are coming your way. Big blessings. Claim it. Pray over it. Thank you for choosing growth and not delay. Thank you for trusting that nudge in your spirit. Thank you for refusing to let your story end small. Do not let it end small. You owe it to yourself. You owe it to your ancestors. You owe it. You owe your family to break the chains. And you refuse to let your story end small. 2026, we're breaking chains. And if this episode resonated and you want to encourage someone that you care about, please share it. Leave a kind review. Tag us. Tag me. I said the links are below. You'll find all the links. And you gotta act on it. These simple steps help this important message get to others that are looking to make a change in their lives and their families' lives, their spouses' lives, their children's lives. Because your brave step, even just sharing it on Instagram, that brave step could be the permission someone else needs to rise. You could be the one that sparks that in someone else. And I love that for you. I love that for them. Their life is about to change. Why? Because you had the courage to share today. And now go build that great thing you prayed for with your family. Go build it. God bless you, my friend. And glory to God always. I love you. And we'll see you soon.
Thank you, beautiful friends, for listening to this important message from Mama. Share with someone you love and care about. Oh, and we'd love to personally invite you to listen to our podcast. It's for young future leaders ready to change the world and be a light in the dark. Listen together as a family. It's called the Optional Kids Legacy Show. We know you'll love it. Be bold, be kind, build an unforgettable family legacy. God bless you. We love you. And parents, if no one told you yet, let us be the first. You're doing a remarkable job. And remember, you are the hero of your story, because every legacy begins with a hero, and that hero is you.
This podcast is for inspirational and educational purposes only, and it is not intended to replace professional advice, legal advice, diagnosis, or treatment. The views expressed are based on personal experience and faith-based insight and are meant to encourage reflection and growth. Always seek the guidance of qualified professionals regarding any questions or concerns you may have about your health, relationships, or business.